The last 1 year has been especially hard on us. Agreed that we've all been through a lot. But there is one set of population that has been through just as much or probably more, but hasn't even realized it yet. I'm talking about the children, the kids who were just trying to understand the world while it was taken away from them. The last 1 year and the next few months are going to be harder for our kids than we would like to believe. But there are surely ways we can ensure that the impact of this is not as hard as it could be if it's taken care of at the root. Welcome back. I'm going to split this video into two parts. First part of what are these changes, and the second part of what measures we can take to reduce the impact on our children. First, social isolation. Our kids haven't been to the school for over a year. Some of them have not even met their friends throughout this period. For the younger kids, it's more problematic because this is the time when they're learning to make new friends. The nursery and early education students will not even remember how they used to behave among people. The mental maps have all gone to dust. The adolescence period is considered a time of deep learning about the social environment when several key aspects of social cognition continue to develop, including the comprehension of other people's emotions, intentions, and beliefs. It's a time of psychosocial changes between childhood and adulthood and a period of heightened sensitivity to social context. In fact, for most teenagers, the school is the most important social environment, the one in which peers increasingly affect their self-concept, well-being, and behavior. Missing out on these can lead to a lot of unannounced mental issues like social awkwardness or even feeling a new level of anxiety when thrown back into the crowd. And if not taken care of properly, these can lead to a lot of long-term effects on their interpersonal and communication skills. Second, routine changes. All of us remember how the first few days of a summer vacation felt when we did not know what we are going to do, when we are going to wake up, what we are going to play today. And similarly, when we go back to school, small issues like focusing on studies, our communication with others, and so on. Now imagine the same changes, but not just on summer breaks, but over a period of a year or more. It is going to be way more difficult for our kids who used to meet 50 students a day to staying at home for a year. The games they used to play have now changed. Their eating timings have changed. Their sleep cycles have changed. Routines give our children a sense of safety and security. And a sudden change into this can lead to a lot of negative reactions. Extreme tantrums, crying, violent behavior can be some of the side effects of this and need to be handled very carefully. Third, androphobia, the fear of people. For more than a year, our kids have been told to stay away from people and treat everybody as a potential virus carrier or threat. You cannot turn something like that off on demand. Some kids will come out of this lockdown with mild to serious symptoms of androphobia. Although androphobia can be a part of social anxiety disorder, but the two are not the same. Social anxiety disorder involves a lot of intense anxiety when in a social situation like being at a party or on a date or even interacting with a cashier or a co-worker at store. While androphobia will show up on a direct impersonal level. It'll involve more of a fear of a person instead of the other person's judgment of you, which is the case in social anxiety. Fourth, physical health issues. Isolation in today's world has two direct side effects: overeating and overdependence on digital devices. What do we do when we are bored? We are either eating or watching something or the other, anything and everything on television. The same happens to the kids. Only their food is even unhealthier and their television is their phone screen. Obesity is a real risk. Unhealthy eating habits and disturbed sleep cycle can make their digestion go for a toss. And when it comes to unhealthy TV viewing habits, which may seem innocuous for now, when we realize that 6 to 8 hours of school with no screen have been replaced with the same amount of screen time, which would be at least 3 times their average old school days, it suddenly transforms into a real issue. Not only will the kids require glasses at an earlier age, but it will also affect their level of concentration for generic tasks in the long run. Fifth, increased possibility of anxiety and depression. The one thing that we have realized during this pandemic is that mental health issues are a reality and we cannot run away from them. Gone are the days when we could treat the potential of our kid having social anxiety issues or paranoia as a fleeting issue. It has transformed into a pandemic itself, taking in its stride adults and kids likewise. Triggered by a host of issues like studies, parental mismanagement, or simply lack of communication inside and outside our houses, our kids' minds are traversing across a host of things they never should have been subjected to. Now that we have discussed some of the issues that our kids may be going through or may have to face in the near future, I'm sure you would like to know what measures we can take to reduce the impact of this on their minds. And I have you covered. Do check out our follow up video to know more. Until then, stay safe. Goodbye.